Good evening. Two things before my poem. One, the first presidential election I remember was Carter losing to Reagan. I was, 6 probably, and I knew I wanted Carter to win, and unfortunately he did not. And then I spent the next chunk of my formative years going through the Reagan times. Me too. Second, Jimmy Carter did a lot of cool things, but one of my favorite things about him was that he was also a poet. So I wrote a poem after his death, and the title comes from one of his poems. Knowing there are holes of darkness, gulping mass, and even light. Counting pages instead of writing poems, I stopped to think about all the poems Jimmy Carter did not write because he was being Jimmy Carter, doing Jimmy Carter things. If Carter loses his first election and loses another election and loses his last election, does he ever become President Carter? Or does he instead simply become Jimmy Carter, freed from suits, from ties, from smiling when he did not want to smile, from people waiting 2 hours for gas, swearing his name, and reading an editorial over and over, newspaper folded so tight, sending words down the margin, down galleys into gullet, words that could never compare to President Carter, scribbling like mad in his spray-starched 39th presidential pajamas, writing in his journal that will be sealed in his foot-of-bed locker, key around neck next to key that says one final congenial aw shucks hello to the USSR. What if Jimmy Carter could just be a poet? Write lines and stanzas and pages of poems where most would simply be unread, but the words that were swallowed and spoken would change the minds of all who read them. And all might not be much, but let it be enough for one failed farmer and one failed politician. Let his poems sing until he feels only the trouble he wants to feel. Thank you.